How'd I know? Does this
Oh
look
my!
better?
It's a little whispery.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
We are to the final four. On the east-west side of the bracket, we have Kentucky. And on the south-midwest side of the bracket, we have Tennessee. So we're going to actually see who makes the best bourbon, Kentucky or Tennessee. I think that's...
Battle of the Titans.
Yeah. We won't talk to Chuck about how there's no
We are
Indiana.
the Titans, mighty, mighty Titans. Those kind of Titans?
Yep, those kind of Titans.
Exactly that kind.
To start out with the Kentucky side, we are going to take Chuck's New Riff entry versus my Jim Beam entry. And we'll see which one wins. I mean, Brian's probably already going with New Riff because the nose is spectacular.
The nose is spectacular.
Let's be honest, Brian more heavily weights the finish of a bourbon than he does the nose.
Sure, you have the data to back that up.
We do. Data. Take that from data. I mean, this is the third time we're tasting through this, these submissions. So, I mean, we've given our tasting notes a few other times. If you haven't watched those other videos, go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
Link them.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, this New Riff, it's just delightfully buttery, toffee, caramel. Get a little bit of like a toasted popcorn note. This nose is it. I don't want to say top 5 nose all time, but it's pretty dang close.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Everything you want in the sweeter bourbon nose you get in the New Riff.
Yeah, I just don't know how this New Riff just doesn't win. I mean, as soon as I sip it, you just get barbecue, and you remember all those great nights you barbecued and have some amazing ribs, brisket, you name it. Just brings all those wonderful memories.
Yeah, caramelized, smoky. You have enough oak and depth. The finish is not overpoweringly spicy, but lasting in flavor. So
yeah, it very subtly kind of just dances on your tongue, coats your mouth for a while. Very, very easy finish. This would be I would say a top tier entry level bourbon for somebody. Like if you were to give them something like they've maybe gone through some of the other basic things, you could give them this as like, hey, here's something really nice that you might be able to appreciate for someone new who maybe can't handle a stronger finish at this point in time.
Yeah. Well, and just something completely different than you've probably ever had.
Knob Creek? No, this has got to be.
But yeah, it's buttery. Also, it's got some brown sugar, caramel notes, very traditional bourbon flavor. Like this is the one that you're like, I want to get into bourbon. You give them this. This is going to cover your main bourbon notes.
This is excellent. Really, the only knock is in where it leaves you is the nose. So just kind of light on the nose, but then the palate, the nuttiness of Jim Beam kind of comes through in a good way, not overpowering, like some of the past Booker's batches can be. This is a pleasant nuttiness with the caramel and the sweet, oaky, and then the finish is lasting, traditional, spicy. You get a little bit of dark fruit, or I get a little bit of dark fruit and cocoa towards the end of the palate, but.
Yeah, I would concur with all that. So we're ready to vote?
Yeah. So for me, I think the Jim Beam, the Knob Creek, is absolutely amazing. I love it. I think it needs to be on everyone's shelf. However, the barbecue notes on the New Riff just seals it for me. It is so unique. It definitely wins in the nose category. But yeah, that palate and finish, it's just special. And I feel like that's what happens when you get to the very finals. Everything is a good bourbon, so it's just that little special, that magic that makes it go on. And I think the New Riff has it.
Yeah, I was really trying to remain objective through this matchup here, and was trying to make an argument. Sometimes in an argument or a debate, if you find yourself on a position, you try to argue for the other side. So I was in my head just trying to argue for this Knob Creek. It's a little bit lacking in the nose, but I just really like this palate, and the finish is solid. It's not overpowering by any means. Not overpowering in ethanol. Like, this is just an easy drinker. But then I just go back to that New Riff and the complexity and the depth of flavors. And each time you visit it, you get something new. And literally from start to finish, the nosing experience, you could just sit here and smell it and be delighted. Or you could drink it in a rocks glass, like so many ridiculous bars serve you great bourbon in these glasses that you can't smell. Sorry, that was the rant. And you'd be really happy with this. So to me, it's the depth and complexity of the New Riff takes it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Chuck. Well, unlike Chuck, I should say. He's trying to be open-minded. I think one of the things we don't talk about enough in life is the value of being closed-minded. And going in, I felt like the New Riff was going to win. I didn't taste anything that
I thought you were going to give us a flat Earth argument.
Yeah, I didn't look for something to really deviate from that. I said, all right, Knob Creek, I'll drink you because you're here. And yeah, New Riff wins.
Sweet.
There it is.
And he was
CJ, tell us what it is. Tell us which Knob Creek it is.
It is a Knob Creek store pick. So I always go to Westport Whiskey and Wine, and it's signed by Fred No, which automatically makes it 10% better. So I went there. They had these. They weren't moving quick enough because, like we've talked about a couple times on the channel, people just don't buy Knob Creek for some reason, and you're crazy. Yep. So this is a 9-year-old pick, 120 proof, and I got it for $55. So I thought it was a great buy. I still like it. You can see it's almost gone, but yeah,
great, fantastic value.
Oh yeah,
it'll always be on my shelf.
Yeah, and I have some friends that are like, oh, I need the Knob Creek 15, or something. It's like no, you don't need to go there with Knob Creek to get a great product. Like if you want to spend the money and have the availability to get that, okay, sure. But like you can just go for the 9-year and whatever. Yeah. Be happy.
Yep. Oh yeah. The final two for our final four, it's Tennessee side, and there's two big boys in Tennessee, which I'm going to deviate now because they've both done it a billion times, so I can too. PSA, Bellamede is no longer being produced.
Which we talked about that on the channel as a possibility a while ago.
Yep.
Well, let's be honest. This guy. It's a brand change. If you looked at it, the distillate's still going to be MGP in their, at least for a while, in their Nelson Greenbrier Reserve or something.
Yes.
DJ, you should really link the video where we prophesy this happening at least a year ago.
Sounds good. I'll do that. But yeah, so if you really like Bellamede, now you can just buy Smoke Wagon instead, or umpteen other distilleries that do MGP product and put it under their label. But just to be on the lookout, if you're a big Bellamede fan, you might want to pick up a few because it's going to disappear forever. But anyway, we don't have them. We have the two big boy Tennessee distilleries out to play tonight, which is going to be Dickel and the Jack Daniels, both of which are bourbon.
And Tennessee whiskey.
Yes. So.
Yes.
I wonder if I'll be able to tell which is which by the nose.
Yes. Oh, wow.
This one just kind of has a funky smell.
Compared to the Dickel, the Jack does not have much of a nose.
Does that look on Chuck's face like, do I need to read that?
I wonder if I just... Which is the higher seed? Dickel. Just trying to remember which one I poured first. I think you're saying the Dickel doesn't have a good nose.
No, the Dickel has the nose. The Jack does not.
Or I'm sorry. I was saying it the other way around. Sorry. No, I'm getting. Well, let me start on the Dickel. This is a classic. I mean, there's a good bit of classic Tennessee on this nose.
Mm-hmm.
Minerality, cola, caramel.
Yep.
The mineral really comes through strong.
Oh yeah. And then a whole bunch of cherry cola.
There it is on the palate.
Yep. With oak.
That's what you either like or love or hate.
Yeah.
That lingering finish, though, just like it's not over. It's just flavorful. Just tons of. It's not the classic. You don't get the baking spice finish. Smooth, creamy.
Very complex.
Oh, but that Jack is good.
So, yeah, you're knocking on the nose. I'm getting a lot of like sweet honey and maple syrup, like a big maple note.
I feel like on the nose, like I feel like the Dickel just hits you, but like but in comparison, but the Jack is like there. If you swirl it,
Okay.
you kind of take a moment, like you absorb a lot of those.
If you search for it,
Yeah, that
long
vanilla. Well, yeah, no, but I feel like it's there, like that vanilla.
If you're in a
really
sensory
nice.
deprivation chamber with nothing else taking.
All right. I'm gonna go crazy here to try to get this nose since you guys claim it's so good.
On vapor pour?
You know, the thing with the Jack, I feel like the vanilla is the dominant scent kind of on the nose. So
It's hand sanitizer.
Have you never?
Sorry, Brian.
That's what they do. Have you never been to a distillery tour? That's what you're supposed to do.
Just reminds me of that Saturday
I
Night
just
Live
don't know
skit
why you would
where
waste
the ladies
bourbon
like
that way.
puts her hands underneath their armpits and goes.
There's the other intro.
I don't know where you're at, TJ, but like for me, I would much rather taste the bourbon than smell it. So I'm not going to waste it by using it as hand sanitizer, even during COVID times, when I could be drinking it and have the bourbon fight the COVID within me.
So first off, it's from Tennessee, so it's not as good as Kentucky. So it doesn't matter as much. Second off, I'm getting the full sensory experience for the good of our channel. I do sacrifices for our viewers. When have you jumped in a pool full of ice lately, sir?
Not lately, but
link
that's
that
awful
above.
big.
Just lately.
Yeah. Well, that's awful big of you, TJ. I'm really shortchanging the audience here, I think.
So the Jack is all honey and sweetness, whereas the Dickel is all old oak and cherry cola. So they are two very different profiles.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I almost like the Jack at the end. You get a little bit of cinnamon on that finish to go with that sweetness.
I'm sticking by what I said last time, which Brian hasn't watched the video yet because it's not out yet. Habanero peppers. Because it's a smoldering heat that just kind of like slowly builds. Yeah. It is habanero.
Yeah,
that could be a cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon spice too. It's like just ate a red hot.
Yeah, cinnamon, same way.
Mm-hmm.
So
but it is a crescendo. It builds.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yep.
Brian, like a spicy finish. Who are you?
Yep. Who would have thought?
Well, I like it to build. I like it to have to work together. Whether you're giving me this building, are you building up to the cinnamon? Are you building up to the pepper? You know, it's got to lead up to it well for me to really like it, and I really like it. Jack, boom.
All right.
There he is. Wow, that is the quickest answer we've ever had from Brian ever on the history of this channel.
Yep. I mean, to be
Well,
fair,
let me explain why I chose the Jack.
There it is. Okay. Dang it, I should have just moved on.
Yeah.
you just don't know how to take a win when you have it, do you, Chuck?
Nope, do not. Well, I'll go next. Because I wanted to like this Jack. I do like this Jack. And let's be honest, we're in the final four. This is like, these are blue bloods. I like the honey sweet. I think it leaves you a little bit lacking in the mid palate. The finish is excellent as far as that cinnamon spice it builds. Probably going to be a little overpowering for some palates. Not necessarily for mine. Not for Brian's. He loves it. But this Dickel, and I think TJ said it early in his review on in this matchup, it's complex. And I went back on the nose, and I'm getting like a bright spiciness, and I'm not even sure what it's like a spicy lemon cardamom. In addition to like all those other notes of cherry cola and caramel and oak. And I love that depth of flavor through the palate and finish. It's that's not the classic. There's none of that burn necessarily in the finish. So
yeah, I'm kind of getting that too, actually. Like that Dickel, what is that? That Dickel bias? Is that what I'm getting a hint of here?
I didn't even submit this. If I was going bias, I'm going to be biased to my own pick. So sorry, I'm going Dickel. This puts the 10 in Tennessee.
Ooh, puns. I like it.
That was horrible. We seriously just lost subscribers right there.
Oh, all right. So,
Damn.
So definitely on the nose, it's got to go Dickel. On the palate, it's got to go the Jack because that sweet note that just hits you is amazing. And then on the finish, I got to go with the Dickel, like the complexity and everything like that. But like I said, this is the Final Four. We got two great bourbons. So it comes down to that wow factor. That's the thing that really matters. And as much as I don't want to do it because they're both great, I got to put the Dickel through because just the complexity, the oak, it when you drink it, you just taste age. Now you do taste a little bit of that Dickel funk too, but with the Jack, because I feel like it is so high proof, you get a big ethanol hit through there too, which just kind of is the opposite of a wow factor. So that's what holds it back.
I think this is going to setting up for a. But go ahead, Brian.
I just realized, did I miss that? Because I'm not a part of all the episodes. Did I miss the episode where Dickel became an official sponsor of the channel? Did I miss that one? I'm just trying to figure that out.
Oh, sorry, TJ, I've been splitting the sponsorship checks.
Yep.
That explains why you have so much more bourbon than me.
So that means for the final, it is New Riff versus Dickel. So stay tuned for a message from our sponsor, Dickel, and we'll turn right back around and do this.